Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yo, if you are tired of seeing criminals get away with murder, tired of hearing excuses for the wicked, then it's time to take action. Hit that subscription button now and stay in the loop with the Jamaica Young Police channel. We are not here to sugarcoat. We are here to expose the truth, bring justice, and make sure the real heroes get the recognition they deserve. Don't wait for the change. Be the change. Subscribe, like, and let's make some noise and hold those criminals accountable. Justice in action. Speak up. Crime must fall. And remember that we have go inside the description box and you'll see various links to various things for the Jamaica Young Police channel. JamaicaYoungPoliceChannel.com, where you see articles and stuff like that. Those who like to read, and we continue to give you guys exceptional material over here. So, moving on. Yeah, so right now you're looking at a man on the top arrow. That man name is Pissabed, yeah. So Vybz Kartel, Dan Pissabed and these men are responsible for the death of Andre Blackman, Bryan's father, out at Bull Bay, St. Andrew. Yeah, so you're looking at the man them, so you see Pissabed. Pissabed, that's the man who's the Dan for out there. He was the boss of bigger crime. And you're going to hear about some other killers and that's around them. So you're looking at Andre Blackman Bryan, Tesha Miller, Vybz Kartel, Courtney Stamatero, Chronic Law and Popcorn. All of these people have a role in the death of Andre Blackman Bryan's father. And it is so sad how how many things that Blackman have done for Vybz Kartel and him just switched on the man it didn't even take anything. Nothing for him to change. So the ruthless plot behind the killing of Andre Blackman, Bryan's father, the dirty names exposed. You may not heard much about him before, but the man who was brutally lured, executed and buried, where even the devil himself would not find him, was none other than Andre Blackman's Bryan's father, known on the street as Powerman RJ. He's a Rasta man and he walk all over the place, and he's a man him debut from long time. A man deeply embedded in the original Klansman hierarchy from Puppy String and Bulby Bennett era. A man whose name carried weight in the underworld long before his son rose to infamy. But now Powerman has become yet another victim of the treacherous game of deceit, betrayal and bloodlust that defines the Jamaican criminal landscape. So he was lured to Bull Bay. Well, we don't want to call the entertainer's name the man who is really behind the luring. He's from De La Vega City and he's a Rasta man too. And he's an artist. So we're not going to call him name because that part of the intelligence that we're receiving, it's not really 100% concrete, so we don't want to call him name, but he was lured by people from De La Vega City because him still walk through the place and everybody trust him, but they did not want to arm him in a Spanish town per se because that would have caused problem. So they lure him out to Ulbia. And that's, you understand. So this is a man, him name carry weight in the underworld. Long before him son, Blackman become Dan. But now Powerman has become yet another victim of the treacherous game. And this wasn't just some random killing. This was a coordinated, premeditated a betrayal at the highest level, masterminded by several well-known figures whose hands are already stained with the blood of countless Jamaicans. So we are telling now the name of the alleged architects of this murderous plot. One, the main man on it, and Popcorn, Andre Sutherland, the unruly boss, whose connection runs deeper than music, playing chess, while the public thinks it's just dancehall. Popcorn is a man who have whole heap of M16 and a whole heap of gun out there in St. Thomas. We have done video about it and tell the authorities about it, but hey. Then you have an next one named Chronic Law. 2, Chronic Law, Akeem Campbell, the self-proclaimed law boss or one law, now accused of being more than just a lyrical bad man. Him himself is a bad man too. Yeah man, the man, he's the one that buy Bigger Crime, the M16 and all of these guns when Bigger Crime was raining. And Bigger Crime girlfriend, Tracy, she had called yours truly, and she said that it was Chronic Law that buy the guns them for Bigger Crime. So all of these artists, telling them involved in a criminality. So then now you have another man now named Courtney Stammer Samuels. You know that he is the head for the Klansman gang, the real Klansman, because of him had the brain. Him had the bright one, him had the one who have the master's degree and know how to think. So he is the man who's behind it. He never like Blackman from morning. For some reason, even when after Blackman was up there in Evandale, I hid out and with them and Tesha Miller, him never liked Blackman. Yeah. So he's a known Klansman affiliate, rumored to be the bridge between the gangsters and the so-called celebrities. So he's the man where him have the charisma, communication skill, him can speak properly, because he went to good school. The man is all a deportee from the United States of America. When you're 10 years in a prison, and it's him kill all one of them lover, allegedly in a prison, Brooklyn or Rikers Island. Yes, and it is, even whilst he was incarcerated, he was in Philadelphia at one point in time, and other prisoners said that them see him as a big informer based on one and two look of things. Because, when a file come in and prisoners see it and they're able to, based on your location in a prison, they will know who are informer from who are no informer. So then you have now 5. You have Vive Cartel, Adidja Palmer, the so-called world boss whose influence extends beyond prison walls and into graves of the fallen. Yeah, so Vibes Cartel is a man who although him out of street, him literally should have still in a prison, but he's a man who have influence, and he didn't even try to prevent the killing of Andre Blackman, Bryan's father. Then you have 6 now. The real man who behind it, the architect, also the man who make it happen, Dan Pissabed from Bulbia, a name whispered in fear, a reputed killer with a reputation for sending men to their graves with no remorse. Then you have one youth named Blaze, one of Pissabed's right hands, known for carrying out his dirtiest of dirty work, and he used to be a top shotter around Bigger Crime. So the story of betrayal, Powerman, despite his age and long history, the man in them close to 70, long history in the gang world, had managed to stay alive through the rise and fall of various dons. But it doesn't protect you from envy. It doesn't shield you from greed. the same people who once healed him for his history and strength were the ones who plotted to take him out. It was said that Powerman had been frequenting Bob Oil, that out of Bull Bay, same place me have an uncle and him passed away last year. He used to live out there and them thing there. Known for his spiritual chants, perhaps trying to find some form of peace or cleansing from the bloody life he built. Because the man kill people too, But evil as that we have catching up with even the most repentant person. You know what I'm saying? No sins go unpunished. Especially in time you're a criminal, you're not killing people for the betterment of society, you're killing them because they are your rival. Unlike the police kill criminals because they are parasites, especially murderers them. So the killers, according to credible information, tricked him. Them trick him and lure him into Bob Oil on a false pretenses. Yeah, telling him, from chant bingy and all kind of thing. And guess who know who's really behind it? Sizzla Kalonji. Because out there's a theme place though. Sizzla Kalonji know who kill him and what role them play. Even the Rasta man, even him. So that's where they capture him, executed him, and disposed of his body so well that over a month has passed and not even a bone has been found. His body is now lost in the abyss. A warning to others, a message wrapped in blood. So them kill him and bury him in a hill. But guess what? Who will go up there? And this man use drone and some form of technology for save them can't find any body buried. But you think government now go really waste money to try to find him because he's all corrosion and corrubuncus and dirty bungle. So some people ask why did they kill him? There's many theories that floating around the streets. Some say it's retaliation for old gang disputes and unresolved beef between Blackman and others, even whilst behind bars and even before he was behind bars. Others whisper that it's about control, the weakening of Blackman faction by eliminating the symbolic strength of his bloodline. So by killing him father, weakening him mentally, physically and emotionally, because I feel powerless now, him can't do nothing because he's in prison. But then there is a theory that the killing was a power play between music and gangland, where the artists who are also financiers of criminal networks don't just write lyrics but sign death warrants too. But here's what is undeniable. The murder of Powerman signal a major shift. The weakening of Klansman gang, Blackman faction is real. His death is not just personal, it's political, strategic and it's brutal because guess what? People him know they kill him father, So the real culture of Jamaica, rotten to the core. This murder once again exposes Jamaica's sick cultural obsession with badness. If your father is a killer, a don or a criminal, you might get you will get ratings. You get ratings to that. But if your father is a policeman, an educated man, a scientist, an engineer, doctor, or even a businessman, Jamaican society shun you. Because they don't respect success unless it come with gun or a microphone. Or them know say you're involved in a drug dealing and whole heap of body behind you. So when you're decent and law abiding citizen, and you're not nobody where ever go to jail, or you're not nobody where you're done and killer, nobody no rate you. Them see you as nerd and you're a boy, because you never been to jail before. I don't know how all that madness become a part of our culture. We're going to jail, spending time with other men. Where them pass gas, them poop, them piss. When them soldiers stand up there, I see himself with men and them thing there. and then man live with them for years because they end up a prison. What kind of life that? But that goes to show you that how the mind work. A man that say, boy, I'm a bad man and I'm a thug. I would never want to be that. I rather be the guy where out there I'm free and I can go anywhere I want to and do anything I want. And I am not sleeping with any men. So this twisted mindset is why, the likes of General Starkey, Anthony Tingle, George Pang, Tony Welsh dead. Then you have Claude Massop, you have Zeeks, Bulby, Tesha Miller, Joel Andem, and now Blackman are held in high regards, while countless young men from decent homes with ambition outside of crime get marked. Yeah, so this is the channel that we have been telling you about. United we win, divided we lose. A call to action for all decent, ethical, and truth-seeking people. Brothers and sisters, let's speak some truth. Division has always been the weapon of the wicked. The ultimate tragedy used by corrupt governments, dishonest leaders, and power-hungry manipulators. They divide to conquer. They pit communities against each other. They turn neighbors against neighbor, tribe against tribe, race against race, because they know the terrifying power we hold when we are united under truth, justice, and purpose. That's why united we win, divided we lose. It's not just a slogan, it's a movement, a philosophy, a rallying cry for every decent, ethical, and truth-loving soul on this planet. We are all calling on you to be a part of something greater. This is not just another YouTube channel. This is an international platform that transcends borders, cultures, and languages. It reaches across ocean and finds its way into the hearts, homes, and minds of people like you. People who refuse to be manipulated. People who are hungry for truth. And people who stand for what is right, even when it's not popular. We believe in what is right, not who is right. That's what it's all about. So we expose what others are afraid to even whisper. So this channel reach across oceans and find its way into the hearts and minds of people like you, people who refuse to be manipulated. So we expose what others are afraid, because they themselves are afraid. We uplift voices that have been silenced. We connect the dots, several, reveal the agendas and show the patterns behind the lies that the mainstream buries. We cannot do it alone. Your subscription is more than just a click. It's a declaration that you are no longer asleep, that you refuse to be divided, that you see the power in unity, that you are choosing truth over propaganda, ethics over corruption, courage over silence. So I am personally inviting you, subscribe to United We Win, Divided We Lose channel, a home for truth seekers, the whistleblowers, the freedom fighters, and those who still believes in values and virtues and in victory through unity. Because remember, evil thrives when good people are silent and divided. But when we unite, we win, always. So join the movement, click, subscribe, and select all, and let your voice be counted among the courageous. They knock all on the music, and some of them want to fit in and end up losing them life. But don't get it twisted. Even though Blackman is beaten, a wounded beast is still a beast. Yeah, man. The man doesn't need much reason to start a bloodbath. If Blackman known for killing men just because the murder rate is higher in a different parish than St. Catherine, that get it in his head to seek revenge for his father's death, nobody is safe. All it takes is one, one carousing, dirty bungle and corobuncus who want to prove to Blackman that him rate him and Blackman are him G. One hungry, impressionable gunman to light the match. So while the authorities and corrections officials sit on their hands playing politics, they better remember that Blackman is still alive, still watching and still waiting. But if he said these people are killing him father and get away. So they take away the people listed here: Popcorn, Chronic Law, Stammer, Terror, Tesha Miller, Vibes Cartel, Dan Pissabed and Blazy. They aren't just entertainers or gangsters or street names. They are part of a machinery that keeps the blood flowing in the streets of Jamaica. And this time, they didn't just take out a rival. They murdered the father of a man who has shown the world that he is willing to kill for sport. The only question that remains: how long before before Blackman bite back? The bloody feud between Andre Blackman Bryan and Tesha Miller, a story of revenge, bloodlines and betrayal. The violent saga between Andre Blackman Bryan and Tesha Miller, two of the most notorious figures in Jamaican's criminal underworld, is not just another gang war. It is a chilling reflection of how deep-rooted hatred, betrayal and revenge have shaped the course of bloodshed across Spanish Town and beyond. For years, the Klansman gang has been fractured into warring factions, with Blackman leading one side and Tesha commanding the other. Their feud was not simply about power or territory. It became deeply personal to the point where blood of siblings was spilled, families destroyed, and entire community turned into battlefields. According to credible source and intelligence from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, at the height of the war, it is alleged that Blackman ordered the execution of several of Tesha Miller's close family members, including his own sister. It was a brutal, calculated movement to hit Tesha where it hurts most, at the heart of his family, at the core of his soul. For many in the streets, this was a line that even among murderers few dare cross. The unwritten rules of the game, the so-called badman code, usually kept family members, especially women, off limits. But in the merciless world of Blackman, no one is sacred. And murder of Tesha Miller's sister sent shockwave across the criminal landscape. The restraint of a done, Tesha Miller unlikely mercy, but here is where the story takes a shocking turn. Despite the carnage, despite the overwhelming pain of losing his own bloods to the hands of Blackman's shatter, Tesha Miller, in moment of what many call twisted honor, gave direct orders to his men not to harm Blackman's father, the man known as Powerman RJ. Why? Because Powerman was considered an OG, an original gangster, a founding elder of the Klansman gang from the days of Puppy String and Donovan Bulby Bennett. He was not just another name on the street. He was one of the architects of the very criminal system that both Blackman and Tesha inherited. So in the ruthless world of gangland politics, such elders are sometimes viewed with a certain grim respect, even by their enemies. To harm an OG is seen by someone as breaking an invisible line, a breach of the old law that could have wider implication, potentially igniting more chaos than intended. Tesha Miller, despite all the hatred in his heart, allegedly told his shatter, "Don't touch Blackman father. He's my elder, he's my OG in the game." This was not an act of kindness. It was not forgiveness. It was Tesha Miller standing by a certain principle that while his fight was with the son, the father, because of his seniority and stature in the criminal hierarchy, should be spared. So this moment stands out in history of Jamaican gang conflicts because it exposes the complex psychology of these underworld figures. It reveals that even among killers, there are still layers of unwritten laws, codes and boundaries that some refuse to cross. Until, of course, those boundaries collapse under the weight of time, betrayal, or opportunity. But the irony remains bitter. Tesha showed restraint when it came to Blackman's father. Yet years later, Powerman would still meet a violent end. Not at Tesha Miller's hands, but allegedly orchestrated by a deadly alliances including names like Popcorn, Chronic Law, Stammer Terror, Dan Pissabed, Blazy, Vibes Cartel, and yes, Tesha Miller himself, according to the latest intelligence. So whether this was strategic change of heart, a reaction to the shifting power dynamics, or simple the price of surviving in a world where alliances are temporarily and betrayal is currency, one thing is clear: the so-called respect for OGs has eroded, and the streets of Jamaica have become a place where even fathers of dons are no longer safe. The cycle of vengeance, no honor amongst thieves, there's no honest criminal. So this saga is a textbook example of the brutal reality in Jamaica. There's no honor among thieves. There's no honest criminal. There's no honest liar. To be a criminal, the first trait, you have to be dishonest. There's only power, and the lust for it consumes all. The murder of Tesha's siblings by Blackman's order was the spark. The spearing of Powerman was the pause, but the killing of Powerman was the final nail, a sign that in this generation of badness, even the old rules are dead. The question that lingers now is not if there will be retaliation, but when, and how many more mothers will bury their sons before the cycle finally ends. So the untold story behind the blood feud, or Popcorn, Vibes Cartel, Chronic Law, Stammer Terror, allegedly plotted revenge against Blackman. What changed? What sparked the sudden unity between Vibes Cartel, Popcorn, Chronic Law, and Courtney Stammer Terror Samuels? 4 men whose names echo through the streets and dancehall spaces of Jamaica. It all started with a revelation that shook the corridors of both the music industry and the criminal honor world. One of Jamaica's top bloggers, known for exposing the dark truths behind the scenes, boldly went on the record telling the world how many times Popcorn almost lost his life to the hands of Blackman's led faction of Klansman gang, and all those attempts were tied directly to Vibes Cartel alleged instructions. For a moment, the streets buzz with this narrative that Cartel himself had wanted Popcorn dead. But as the whispers grew louder and the fingers pointed in Cartel direction, the world boss broke his silence. So since him come out of prison and all of these things, and man, Popcorn and all of them now start, them a drink, and time people a drink and a smoke weed and all kind of thing, you don't know, say, that I want the truth medicine now. Come out. Someone get brave and ask about it. Yes. So Popcorn asks about, about him wanting kill and Chronic Law interject, and Vibes Cartel put on him drink and take off him glasses and looking at him face and say, look here, I have nothing to do with it, you know. All of them things, a black man want you dead. Cartel, known for his cunning and calculation, didn't sit back and let the blame ride. According to sources close to the circle, Vibes Cartel vehemently denied any involvement in the so-called It's and Popcorn life. He cleared the air in no uncertain terms. It wasn't me who wanted Pappy dead. It was Andre Blackman Bryan all along. So the root of the grudge, Popcorn branded as an informer. But why would Blackman, a man known for his merciless approach and cold-blooded executions, target Popcorn? The answer lies in a deeper mix of paranoia, street code, and a simple but dangerous mistake. Back in the aftermath of the high-profile killing of Douglas Chambers, a key figure in Spanish Town, Blackman was still moving under the radar, blending into society with his dreads. Our Rasta hairstyle, a disguise meant to shield his identity while the heat was on. So him trim him dread. Yeah, him cut off him locks after him kill Douglas Chambers because police are look for a black dread. So during the period, the only people who had possession of Blackman driver's license were the police. But somehow, word on the street was that Popcorn had gotten back Blackman's license and handed it to him at the house that Stamatero rented. All of them were staying there. But Stamatero never liked Blackman. Him despised Blackman with every fibre in his body. Tesha him God. So in the eyes of Blackman and his faction, this was a red flag, a glaring sign of betrayal. How could a man outside of the police force come in possession of something that only law enforcement had? There was only one conclusion in their world of suspicion and street justice. Popcorn was labeled an informer, a markman, as good as dead. Blackman allegedly gave the directive, Popcorn must be killed. His shutters were ordered to move on sight. His name written on the proverbial wall. So the argument that changes everything when the allegations surface publicly through the blogger's expose, Popcorn confronted the narrative head on and linking up directly with Cartel and the inner circle to address the deadly rumor. And it was these heated discussions that Cartel reportedly put the truth on the table. You see how the street twisted up everything? It wasn't me. Blackman is the one who wanted your head, not me. I never gave that order. The conversation, though tense, brought a strange moment of clarity between these two. And Chronic Law and Stamatero them had their piece, and the ear was cleared. And what followed was not forgiveness, but tragedy. The slate wasn't wiped clean. It was now written with new purpose, revenge. If Blackman want blood, then we shall show him what blood feels like. So Blackman want Popcorn dead because Popcorn gave Blackman his driver's license. That was from the murder of Douglas Chambers. And Blackman said the only police that have him, Popcorn get him driver's license. And Popcorn couldn't tell him. So that's why him say Popcorn for dead, because Popcorn an informer. At the time he was wanted and on the run. He have cut off him locks, and since then he not grow it back. So the birth of a plot making Blackman feel the pain. So with the ear clear between Popcorn and Cartel and Chronic Law and Stamatero also sitting at the table, the conversation turned from defense to offense. They weren't content to simply dodge bullets. They wanted Blackman to suffer, to feel the weight of betrayal, grief, and loss that he had caused so many families over the years. So the plan wasn't about a hasty retaliation. It was methodical, patient, cool. They would strike Blackman where it hurts the most, not through his foot soldiers, not through random violence, but by targeting the core of his legacy and family. So the stage was now set. The so-called respected for OGs and Badman code was officially dead. In his place was a new era of betrayal and revenge, where even fathers are no longer off limits. Blackman, the man who had shown no mercy to Tessa Miller's siblings and countless others, would now feel the sting of that same pitiless cruelty. The lessons in all of this, when the street talks, they don't just whisper, they shout in blood. Allegiances in Jamaica, criminal underworld, are fragile as glass and as deadly as poison. One false move, one suspicion, one rumor, that's all it takes to become the next name on a hit list. A man just want to say him feel like a you, do something. You inform, you're dead. That's something that I am from the belly of the beast, you know. A youth that born and grow and say all of these things. And even as a detective experience the same too with criminals. So what began as a misunderstanding over a driver's license ended up as a plotted hack, a vengeance that would change the course of Clansman's saga forever. So that's how them killed Andre Blackman, Bryan's father. Yeah, so when the smoke clears and the bodies pile up, the lesson remain the same. There is no such thing as an honest criminal. Not one. The streets of Jamaica, from Spanish Town to Bull Bay, from Jones Avenue to Waterford, are littered with graves of men who believe there were some honor among thieves, some line that wouldn't be crossed, some code that would protect family or elders. But time and time again, reality spits in the face of the foolish belief. Popcorn thought association would spare him. It didn't. Blackman thought his father's status as an OG, original gangster, will shield him. It didn't. Tesha Miller thought his own bloodline was untouchable. It wasn't. This is the hard truth. In the criminal underworld, loyalty is temporary. Respect is fragile and betrayal is currency. Today's brethren is tomorrow's target. Enemy. Yesterday alliance, today's execution order. These men talk about bad man codes, respect for elders, sparing women and children. But when the hunger for power, revenge and dominance take over, those same codes are thrown in the gutter like waste. The same black man who murdered Tesha Miller's siblings and his relatives without mercy. The same Tesha who swore to respect black man's father as an elder. The same Popcorn who once hailed cartel as mentor and family and daddy, all found themselves trapped in the same web of lies, suspicion, and inevitable betrayal. At the core of the story is the perfect example of why there is no honest killers, no righteous gangsters, no decent dons. That is an illusion sold to the ignorant and the gullible. A criminal might smile with you today, but he will sell your soul for $1, a stripe, or a whisper of power tomorrow. So let this be the warning to those still romanticizing badness. There is no brotherhood in crime. On the wolves waiting for the right moment to devour each other. Not one of them is honest, not one. And I can tell you that. I did a story recently about one of the British killing his best friend, war boss. He owes the man $18 million. And one, he was making money and could have paid back the man his money. Instead, one of the British used $500,000 and give it to a police to kill the man, not to pay him his debt. And he has the audacity and the gall to attend the man's funeral, say the man is his best friend, when he's the one who was responsible for the death of his friend, his best friend. So let that sink in. There's no honest criminal. So those of you who think that being a criminal is something cool, that's just an illusion. You know what is cool? Being a career person. Being someone who don't have to be worrying if they're going to be killed tonight, tomorrow, by rivals, or by friends, or even the security forces. That's the life of a criminal. You want to live a life where you live decent, law-abiding, truthful, and honest person, where people know that you're not a criminal, but you're a role model for the youths. Let's see what is going to happen with Tesha Miller, Popcorn, Chronic Law, Vibes Cartel, Courtney, Stamatero, Pissabed, Blazy, and the others at Bull Bay. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.